place of freedom. We're about to enter a place of mental stability. We talked about our mentalism on yesterday. We talked about examining ourselves on Monday. We talked about fear blurring your vision or making you blind. We have had a week of impact, information, as well as education. So, as we begin today on this Freedom Friday, I want to begin, or I will to begin, that we begin with our breathing. Let me tell you, your deep breathing is your power pack. That is what you do to align your chakras. That is what you do to reduce stress, trauma, anxiety, depression. Remember, in the beginning, when God breathed the breath of life into Adam or atoms, ATOM, which is our being, we became a living soul. So a lot of us are existing and not living because we're not breathing deeply. Ooh, early in the morning, popping. Yes. And so as we begin today, as we begin your day, this is a day of creations. We are going to create, we are going to manifest, we're going to educate, we're going to inspire, we're going to motivate, we're going to do all of that in the next 20 to 30 minutes. So let's begin breathing, because what you want to do is you want to breathe from your root chakra. I think next week we're going to begin to talk about the chakras, because you have to have them unblocked, aligned, and in balance in order to operate at your highest frequency or at your highest version of yourself. That is our healing power. God created our body to heal itself, and it's not healing itself because we have those areas blocked. And so we're going to begin to unblock them. I want to be able, or I will to be able, keep saying want, because I'm eliminating the word want from my vocabulary. Because a want, when you say I want, you create the want. You don't create the thing that you're indicating. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin to breathe. And like I was saying, we will do a series on the chakras. There are so many chakras, but there are 7 main chakras that line up your spine. And so as we begin to move forward, listen, there is so much going on in the atmosphere. And if you're not awake and aware and enlightened and conscious, it will pass you by and you'll miss it. And so what we will to do for your life is to bring you to a place of consciousness so that you will know, not trial and error, so that you would know what you're doing, so that your eye of awakening, your first eye, your inner eye, your intuition eye will constantly, it's always awake, but you're not conscious of its awakening because you're depending on eyesight instead of insight. So what we will to do is to enter you into a place of space where you will be within, because once you're within, you never go without. So let's begin our breathing. If you are able, we are going to close our eyes, our eyesight, so that we can see with our insight. And so when I say see, it's not see as we see physically, it's knowing. So your insight helps you to know. So instead of us saying see, it helps you to know. And that way you can separate the definition of both. When you're seeing, you're looking in eyesight. But when you're knowing, you're on the inside. Yes, we're good in the neighborhood. Yes, on this Freedom Friday, we're going to walk this thing to the place and the space where you wake up every morning with a creative, conscious being, energy, balance, all of that. You can get that. And guess what? You don't have to buy it. You don't have to learn it. It's already within you. See, we were not sent here on this assignment to learn anything. We were sent here to remember everything. Oh, when you reach that point, that you, for as often as you do this in your remembrance of who you are, of whose you are, of where you're going, what your assignment is, what your purpose is, and what your destiny is, you move into that right space. So what we're going to do is begin to breathe. Close your eyesight so that we can enter in a space that we can open our insight. Okay, so take the breath from the bottom of your root chakra at the base of your spine. Begin to bring the air all the way up from there. You can feel the air going from there all the way to your crown chakra. This is your space and place where God speaks, where the spiritual realm is connected. So let's go. Breathe. Hold it. Release it. And as you begin to release, as you've taken it up to your crown chakra, you release it back down to your root chakra. Let's do it one more time. Experience the sensation. Focus on the sensation of the breath that's coming from your root chakra all the way up. Follow it. Let's go. Hold it. Release it. What we're doing is we're releasing toxic thoughts, toxic energy, anything that we've allowed to enter that is a foreign agent to us. So let's try it one more time. Bring it up. Hold it. Release it. Now, once you do that, you'll begin to experience sensations of just of peace, sensation of knowing, sensation of being in this place, in this space, in this opportunity for creation. So it is the greatest to meditate. Remember, meditation is a medication for your information and your education. Yes, meditation is a medication for your information, for your inspiration, and your motivation. It allows you to clear those 6,000 to 7,000 thoughts that you have roving in your head. And we're moving to a heart mind. Heart mind first, then we'll line it up with the head mind. The head mind is full of fear. The heart mind is full of faith. Speaking of faith, let's get to the subject that is at hand. Are you faith-based? Are you faith-based? As we begin to look at faith-based, we've always thought it had to do more with having a religion than a relationship. And for so long as I was in the church, they always said, have faith, have faith, have faith. And they would give you scriptures for having faith, but never a definition as to what faith was. Now, I am 58 years old. And as of a couple of days ago, I heard the Spirit of God saying to me, let me give you what the explanation of faith is. Because a lot of times we've said, oh, I have faith the size of a mustard seed. And we thought that that was it. We're going to talk about now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. As we begin to move and motivate through that, you're going to define and find yourself in a whole different dimension or state of being. So the definition that I want to give you for faith is how it was revealed to me, which brought me to a greater understanding. I came from under it and went in an understanding of what faith is. Now, faith is the power or energy of knowing from within, right now, here, present. It brings you to walking in a consciousness of your God being, not human being, your God being. I am now a God beer. My God being is within me. My faith is within me. Remember, I talked about your heart mind first. That's where your faith is. Your head mind is where fear resides. So what we're saying is faith is the power and the energy of knowing within, right now, here, in the present. It is walking in consciousness of your God being, which is your within, your internal, and your spirit. Man, that right there is going to take you somewhere. Now, fear is the opposite. Fear is the lower frequency of not knowing and walking in your flesh, your external. So what we are saying, are you faith-based, is we're saying, is your foundation for your life walking in, within faith? So what we're going to talk about is Hebrews 11:1, where it says now faith. It tells you Faith is not having an expectation for something in the future. Faith is having the expectation for the right now. Remember that God yesterday went into today to prepare the way for everything that He had placed a desire in your heart for. Yes, yes, yes. And everything is already in the now. What we have to do is join our energy with the substance that's already in your presence. Oh God, I hope you're getting this. Okay, so substance. Now faith is the substance. Substance means to support, to ensure, to give you confidence. So now faith, that power and that energy that is currently present in your present moment, that spiritual walk right there in this moment, right here. Now, faith. That means faith is always present in the now. It is never in tomorrow, or it never was in yesterday. It's right now. Remember, everything happened yesterday is an illusion. Everything that you're anticipating for the future is an illusion. Your only true reality is right here in this present moment. And so your faith, God gave you that seed. That seed means a mind. Everything in a seed includes everything that you need, but it has to be planted. If that outer covering, which is your flesh, is not broken, then everything within the seed just remains in there. It doesn't come out on an active wave. It doesn't come out on active energy. It's just a seed. So us just saying, "Oh, I got a mustard seed of faith," means absolutely nothing if it has not been broken, if it has not been planted, if it has not been recognized in your now. So everything is in your atmosphere to attract, to create. You have all the materials, you have all the tools, you have everything that you need. God said, "I shall supply your need according to His riches and glory." He's just not coming to the day and say, "Okay, it's supplied." He's already prepared the day to say that it is in your atmosphere. So you have no need to have anxiety. You have no need to be in trauma. You have no need to be in depression. You have no need to be in anxiety, because in your present now, if you are faith-based, in your present faith, everything that you will need for this day is already in your present. Oh, yes. This is good. This is good. This is good. So, what we're going to look at is your faith is what? Now I know some of you all that are not going to accept this because of conditioned thinking. So what I want you to do is, before I say this, I want you to open your mind up for the avail of information and education. Remember, education comes from the inside out, not the outside in. And so as we go into this space, in this place, I want you to be prepared for this bomb that I'm about to drop. Listen, faith is your abracadabra moment. Now, first thing you will think, abracadabra is magic. And we've always been taught that magic is evil. So I want to switch it over. Abracadabra is more of a miracle faith substance than it is a magic substance. Okay, let me tell you why. Because abracadabra means I create as I speak, or it comes to pass as it was spoken. But calling those things that are not as if they already were. Let me say that again, because some of y'all didn't get it. Your abracadabra moment is I create as I speak, or it has come to pass as it was already spoken. So I just explained to you that God yesterday went into today and prepared your abracadabra moment. So it was already spoken by God. Now you must speak what God has spoken. What? Y'all better get excited about this. So faith is your abracadabra moment, the moment that you join with what you're speaking as to what was spoken. and the word became flesh. Not the flesh became the word, because a lot of us are trying to make the flesh the word, but you've got to go into the spirit, and the word that was spoken became flesh when I began to speak it. What? That is a creative moment. Now, are you faith-based? If you're not, this is a perfect opportunity to make a change. Your change comes within yourself, a desire to stop missing the mark. That's what sin is, when you miss the mark. We have been missing the mark so long that we've been conditioned to a way of thinking that was declared normal, and we agreed with it, but it never was normal. There is no normal. We've been deceived. We've been hoodwinked. We've been deceived that it's all about color. It's all about your content. It's all about who you are. It's all about your birthright, your nationality. We're so tied up in color that we miss the very essence of who God is and what he brings to the table. And we become one. If you can't see yourself being one with God, see yourself walking in his imagination. His imagination is unlimited, and the power to create is unlimited. The power to walk in your power is unlimited. If we come out of this normal, which is limited way of thinking, which is third dimensional, and walk into the new fifth dimension, which is unconditional love and freedom. Don't start me on freedom. They've been telling us we've been free for a long time, but we have not been free. How does somebody tell you you're free and they control what you do? Taking authority and controlling is two different things. Control usually has some form of manipulation in it, which says if you don't do this, this is going to happen. But authority says, I take the power and the energy that has been instilled in me to walk and be and do and have as I experience my abracadabra moment. Tell me this information is not so good that you can feel the anointing power coming through these waves from my house to yours, or wherever you're located at this time. So, my main focus and my main reason for coming live on a daily basis is to help the God beings. That's my new word. That's what he gave me. I'm a God being. That's the mantra for today. I am a God being. What? I'm not trying to be. I'm a God being. I was created in his image. I'm a God being. I am not a human being. I will not accept that tag. I am a God being. Having access to being, doing, and having. I have come out of the have-nots to the have. I have moved my location. I have changed my address mentally. My mentalism has made a reverse. We're in the reverse, y'all. 2020 was 400 years of slavery. It's over. But if you are not free in your mind, in your heart mind, because your heart mind will free your head mind. But you have to be heart-minded first. The first organ that was created within the body as a baby was the heart. So the heart had to have a mind to create the brain. Come on now, let's get in line. Once we align up, once we balance out. Remember, God does everything decently and in order. Once we define the order for our lives, we no longer walk in trial and error. We no longer walk in defeat. We walk as we are. We are kingdom. We are kingdom minded. Kingdom minded allows you to see that everything I have access to. What? I have access. There's no need in the kingdom, there's no lack in the kingdom. Don't you know that the supply that God has is always greater than the demand? Mm-hmm. That's one of them things you just say, what? The supply is always greater than the demand. So there's never a lack. There's never a time that God is out of power. See, y'all got it all mixed up. This is not a competition between the devil and God. The devil is a mental disorder. So when we're double-minded, so we're saying the devil is here and God is here, that's being double-minded. The only true power is the creator, the great I am, the infinite one in his wisdom. Whatever you call him or call the power, just make sure that you call it. Isn't this good? Yes, I am being blessed as I am speaking because this is my abracadabra moment. Let me give you the definition of abracadabra one more time. I create as I speak, or it comes to pass as it was spoken. That's the collision of God and you coming together as one for that faith base, that now here. If you look at the word nowhere, when you divide it, it says now here. Now here. You are in the now here. You're in your faith base. As you begin to base your faith on a foundation, I have defined for you the meaning of faith. So you no longer go around just ignorant of what you're saying, just repeating something and not knowing the true defining moment of what faith is. Now faith. See, we run over the now. We just say, now faith is substance. No, now. The first thing you have to know is that it's in this present moment, in this reality, now. Right now. Not later, not in the next minute, not in the next second, but right now. If you examine yourself right now, you're feeling mighty good right now, because this information is inspiration for your education and your motivation. So as you begin to experience the energy that you feel, your chakras are opening, your energy fields are opening. You're being healed by this word. Yes. And so as we move forward, we must have a faith base. Not a religion, but a relationship, a joining and a connection with your highest form of energy, which is love. That's the highest frequency in the world. And fear is usually the absence of love, because love is, like we talked about yesterday, the power of mentalism. All is mind, M-I-N-D. So all is mind, M-I-N-E. So you have to have that type mentality to know your place in your space in this universe, why you're here, why your purpose is, what your destiny is. This is a journey to our remembrance, to our experience. As we begin to experience things, it brings back to our remembrance what God told us before we were in the mother's womb, before we came to the matrix. We were equipped with everything that we needed in order to make this journey. We made a covenant with God. I'm going to crawl into this womb and I'm going to carry out my purpose. Yes. No matter what comes, no matter what I have to face, because I am equipped. Has anybody ever told you you're equipped? You're equipped for such a time as this. I don't care what you're going through, how much you're going through, who you're going through it with. When you get the mentalism of knowing your now faith base, nothing by any means shall harm you. You won't get angry about things. You just find a rest soul, S-O-U-L, Lucian. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not telling you this because I read it. These are the writings. These are the teachings. These are the speakings that I have gone through myself, which has brought me to this place and this space of being a God being. I'm not tied down by a religious doctrine that limits me, but I'm tied to and joined to a relationship with the infinite being I call God. Don't hate me for what I call it. It works for me, and I'm not going to hate you for what you call it, because you have to define and find what works for you. We've been conditioned, and everybody tells us this is the way you should go. But we never had a conversation on this side with God and say, what are the steps that you have ordered for me? And so we get all tied up in crazy stuff, and we get mixed up, and we become more confused. God is not the author of confusion. He never created confusion for you. You created confusion for yourself when you started allowing outside influence to determine what your inner being was going to be. That's why you're a God being. Whew, I could go on all day with this because it's helping me. And as you know, you grow. And once you know a thing, you can't unknow it. It's there. No, you cannot unknow the things that God has placed within you. But sometimes they're covered by outside interference, and you have to go in so you never be without. Well, this is Michelle, and I'm your motivator. I'm motivating you on this Freedom Friday. I know they have made Juneteenth a national holiday for a day, but it's a holiday that you are free every day. If you know the origin of it, it says there were slaves that did not know that they were free. And so June 19th is when they were made aware that they're free. So June 9th, this is June 18th. I'm giving you a day before. I am advising you that you are free. This has nothing to do with color as much as we're saying it does. It has to do with your content. Remember, fear. The people have fear of who you are, so they try to muzzle you and stop you from that abracadabra moment. This is your abracadabra moment. The moment weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. This is your morning joy. No more weeping. No more feeling like you can't make it. No more depression. No more anxiety. You are free in this present moment. And as you begin to acknowledge that, you come out of this outside casing and you start working from the inside, which is unknown and more powerful than anything you ever had. They have ever conditioned you to know. Remember, you're not learning. You're remembering. You're remembering your birthright. You're remembering your nationality. You're remembering your inheritance. And now it's time to possess the land. Woo-hoo. We coming out with substance. We already came out with substance. What did I say substance was? Let's go back. Substance is support, assurance, and confidence as to who you are. Yeah, we're coming out with great substance. We're coming out with an understanding. We come from the understanding, because under you have to be, something has to be on top of you to be under. But we're coming out with the understanding of our faith base. I told you it wasn't what you thought it was. And so now as we move forward in today's Michelleology Inner-Evolution Meditation, we are doing the Freedom Walk today. Again, the mantra for today is, I am a God being. And as you say that, and the more you say that, it's going to cause you to resurrect. It's going to cause you to go higher than you've ever gone before. It's going to cause you to rapture. Yes. Well, remember, you've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations and stop duplicating, because now you are faith-based in a whole different dimension. Listen, support me on HAPS TV. Go in, download the app, begin to look around. Support some substance as we begin to move forward. I am excited about this new venture. And listen, my book is dropped. I have dropped my book, so it should be out probably in another month or so. It is called Me, and it's an acronym for mental equation. Hey, I will give you more details on that. If you want to contact me, it's moreoftherock@hotmail. That's MOREOFTHEROCK. moreoftherock@hotmail.com. Listen, tell me how you liking the broadcast. Inform me if you would like to hear some subjects, and I will definitely go there. This is more about education from within and information, inspiration, and motivation. As you begin to meditate that on a daily basis, you will come forth as a new creature. You will elevate. You will operate in your greatest version of yourself. Well, this is Michelle Nami, Motivator. Now, I want you, or I will for you, to take this word and create it, marinate it, cause it to flow, and it will cause you to grow. May the love, joy, peace, power, and sound-mindedness be your soul food for today. I am a God being. Be blessed.